Never heard of the Millennium Falcon?
Should I have?
It's a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Hey guys, Kessel Run Weekly here, and we've just heard some fascinating news. Now, this is just a fan theory, it's not confirmed, but we may know the location of Skywalker and Ach-To.
Oh, yes. So it's really cool because someone on Reddit, at Star Wars Speculation, on their page, someone had posted a translated map to Skywalker. So obviously we know they ended up at Ach-To. That's where Grumpy Luke is. But now we actually know where Ach-To is on the map. And it's actually between a lot of familiar planets. Now we actually have the map right here, for those of you who want to see. So this is actually straight from the Star Wars Speculation page. So thank you. But, I mean, as you can see, we've got planets like Hoth, Endor, Sullust, Kashyyyk, Naboo, even so far as Coruscant, Takodana. Actually, Ach-To seems very close to Takodana, which, if you're not familiar with that, that's where Maz is located. So there, yes, you're Maz. We know you love some Maz. But it's interesting, though, because they make it seem like it's just this remote planet in the middle of nowhere. Like, Luke just ran off to as far as he could possibly go and was like, peace out, I'm done. Where it's more likely that he's been under everybody's noses the entire time.
But you would think that a Jedi Temple would be in the middle. Like the first Jedi Temple, where people evolved to be in a certain area, would be kind of in that area. I mean,
well, thinking about
sense,
it, yeah,
even though you would never think it originally.
Right. Well, and with it being the first Jedi Temple, I don't know, I guess maybe the ancientness of it always kind of made it seem like it was all far off and mysterious and everything.
Right.
And Force Awakens really plays on that, I think, where literally he seems like he's in the middle of an ocean, in the middle of nowhere, and they just happen to find him and everything. But it's really cool that somebody has actually translated that. So we get it to where, and also another thing, somebody had actually translated where the map to Skywalker starts. So the end point and the beginning point. And it begins in Moraban, or otherwise known as Korriban, which we see in the Clone Wars as the ancient Sith world, the birthplace of the Sith. So that's interesting.
It is.
Yes. Because, I mean, obviously, first off, why does it start there? What's the purpose?
Because people evolve. And not necessarily for the better, but usually over an amount of time, they are able to evolve from somewhere subpar to a place that's par into a place that's birdie. I mean, it's not always. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, we get better as we go.
True. It kind of makes me wonder if Luke kind of went in pursuit of possibly even the Wills. Because in an episode of Clone Wars now, I know you haven't finished all of Clone Wars, so I'm very sorry.
I haven't.
But Yoda actually does go in pursuit of the Wills of the Force. And that's where they're located, or that's where they send him, rather. And so I wonder if he goes on a similar journey to what Yoda experienced. Because Yoda actually comes face to face with a spirit Darth Bane, which is really crazy. Voiced by Mark Hamill, actually, which is even crazier. So yeah, so that's why he was on it. Yeah,
he's such an excellent voice actor.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's an aside.
But it's really cool that that's where it starts, and then Ach-To is where the map ends. But equally, so I want to know, how in the world did he keep this place a secret? Because if it's in the middle of all these areas, actually technically the Inner Rim, it's in the middle of all these populated areas. It's not that far from Coruscant either. So how do you keep this technically remote planet hidden from everyone. I mean,
Well, there
this
are
can't be the
ways.
only map. Yeah. Well, there
You
are
can
ways.
delete it from the Jedi archives.
Camino, we're looking at you.
There are ways.
Well, Bendu
Other
even masked one.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bendu masked one.
Yeah, he masked Adelon in Rebels. I mean, obviously they found it, but I believe it was by mistake, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were drawn by the Force.
Well, it was Zeb with his staff. Right?
I'm not sure. I don't really remember exactly how they came across it. Yeah.
Zeb was like, I'm gonna, he didn't want his place.
Mm-hmm. Right, because that was after that episode. Yeah.
And then he got his staff and he was like, he guided them. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different episode.
Not sure.
Yes, I'm carrying a yellow lightsaber.
So I mean, they discovered Chopper Base that was masked by the Force. You actually had an interesting theory too in our Sabine and Mandalore episode that we just recently released. Last week. Mm-hmm.
I thought that if you could shield the planet somehow from detection, then somehow a planet would be safe from the Empire.
I wonder where you got that idea. No. I mean, and that's the thing is, like, I think that's actually really cool because even though, yes, R2 and BB-8 both had different pieces of the map, I mean, I don't know, personally, like, I don't see the purpose in splitting up the map, personally. Because
I see every purpose in splitting up the map.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so...
Because, I mean, you gotta believe that that's not the only copy of that map, so it's not like Ach-To doesn't exist.
It might not be. Okay, think of Coca-Cola.
Okay.
No, think of Coca-Cola recipe.
Okay.
This factory makes this part. This factory makes this part. And this factory makes this part. And then this factory mixes all those factories together to make Coca-Cola.
Okay.
The recipe is actually in a vault somewhere, one place, and is not patent.
Okay.
So they split it all up so that nobody knows how to make Coca-Cola.
Okay. I mean, so Luke being Coca-Cola.
I'm not trying to say,
Tasty Luke? No, I'm just playing.
I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying,
yeah.
There are real world parallels to breaking up a map like that. I mean, if you were going to find somewhere or you wanted to disperse the map to where Jedi that happened to fall through the cracks couldn't get to their temples, you would break up the map. Or if you were a Jedi trying to keep the Empire from finding the first temple, you would break up the map.
I could see that. Yeah, that one in the bank there. I like it. That's cool. And additionally to this, so I mean, obviously we've got this cool thing with, really discovering where Ach-To sits in the grand scheme of everything. It's really interesting. Now, it's like we said before, it's not confirmed or anything. Actually, the closest to confirmation or unconfirmation, however you want to look at it, was actually this tweet from Pablo Hidalgo, head of story at Lucasfilm. Somebody had tweeted to him, were planets' positions on Luke's map in TFA done recording or according to real canon map, or was it just designer's artistic vision? Pablo answers, ask me again in late December. So, a confirm, not confirm.
Okay, I want to ask you how they would put a map out there that is controversial to canon.
I don't think that they would do that. That's the thing, because if J.J. Abrams... Right. If J.J. Abrams had done that, it would pretty much... to me, it would kind of shake the canon. because there would be
It
no
would
canon.
ruin canon.
Right, because all of a sudden things are not where they're supposed to be, and I mean, it would make more sense to just make Ach-To in the unknown regions and just let it be.
Let's just say that they've already messed with canon once, and they don't need to do it again.
There you go. That's true. So yeah, so I mean, it's really cool that, I mean, you can kind of take Pablo's dodge as a but I think there may be some significance to the placement of Ach-To in The Last Jedi. We don't know what that is. We don't know what it could be, to be honest. I'm fine with that. Because
I'm
actually,
fine with that too. I love it, actually. That's why I don't like spoilers. And everybody's always like, why don't you like spoilers? And I'm like, you know what? Because when I watch a movie, I want to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And when you know what's going to happen, you don't feel the same.
That's completely true. I mean, I've experienced that. I think I've told you the story when I went to go see Age of Ultron.
Han.
I saw Han before. Yeah, I mean, I still cried. I'm not even gonna lie, but but I mean, with Age of Ultron, though, the Avengers movie, I watched every single trailer that ever came out, every single spot that came out. I knew all the stuff that was probably going to happen, all about Ultron, all this other kind of stuff. I was excited for the movie. I went to the movie, and I had already seen the movie, basically. Because of
the trailers?
Right, the trailers revealed everything. Like, I literally sat there, I was so excited for this movie, and I sat there and I was like, this is awful. I can't enjoy it.
I don't like trailers.
Yeah. Well, and that's the first time that's ever happened to me. But I've noticed that, especially with Marvel movies and other movies, they do that more often. So, like Thor Ragnarok, I've been staying completely away from it. Last Jedi, I've been asking, like, if it even says potential spoilers, I'm like, not doing this. Actually, no. I didn't tell you this. Todd Hoffman, one of our group members in Kessel Run Weekly Smugglers, he had posted this in another group, and he was like, what do you guys think? And the first thing I commented, I was like, okay, is this spoiler free? Because I'm dodging these Last Jedi spoilers. I'm not going to be walking in. He goes, oh, no, it doesn't change anything. And so, I mean, it's just an interesting thing to me. I didn't really take it as a spoiler. Right. I mean, obviously, I think it's going to come into play. But this isn't something that I feel ruins any kind of story for me. So, okay, cool.
No,
we know where Ach-To is.
I just think that there is some mystery here. Like, how did they shield the planet?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not going to give away what I have in store for a future.
Yes.
But I have a story where I'm trying to shield a planet, and I wonder how they're going to do it, because I know how I'm going to do it. I just wonder how they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I wonder if they're taking a kind of a page out of Madame Jocasta's book. Well, if it's not in the archives, it doesn't exist, or whatever. Right. I'm wondering if they're taking a page out of that, because I mean, you see how the puzzle piece is pulled out of the map and everything, and obviously Luke plotted his course to where he was going and everything, so R2 knew, whether that be purposely or inadvertently or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what the purpose of that.
R2 didn't know, though. I thought that he just had the Empire's records.
Well, that's the thing, though. If it was Imperial records and it was solely that, why would they know where Luke came from? I mean, they could have guessed the sector and found out where he was at. But that's the thing, is on this map you actually see a point A and well, not a point B, because point B is taken out, but you actually see a point A and a map of where all he's been. The path that he took. And so that makes me kind of wonder if it's maybe just something layered on Imperial record, or if it's something else. So, I mean, it's entirely possible that, I mean, the First Order just lost him in that sector, and that was a plot that they were plotting out. But then there's the part of, so how did BB-8 get another piece? Who made that piece, I guess? I don't know. So, I mean, there's a lot of questions, obviously, there, but it's a whole mystery that could only go deeper.
It can, and I hope that we find out.
Oh, yes, definitely. I think that with The Last Jedi, I mean, and I think I've said this in, like, all of our episodes, but I really think that it's gearing up for something that different. Something that we haven't seen before, storytelling-wise, because I know a huge complaint with Force Awakens was that it mirrored New Hope too much. But the thing is that all beginning stories kind of start the same way, that way too. And so I didn't feel like it was really a mirror image of let's make a New Hope again, 2.0. I don't think it was that. I think it was more of, this is the beginning of a story, and this is the beginning of a Star Wars story. And that's how a Star Wars story starts. The second story, I mean, if there are themes from Empire Strikes Back, I'm not going to be mad. I mean, because again, they're all common story themes. At the same time, I think that we're going to get to dive into the Force a lot more, especially with this whole "the Jedi must end." I'm hoping that's just not a throwaway line, or because I mean, I don't feel like Disney or Lucasfilm would do that. I think that's a central thing. It's a big thing, at least with Luke and Rey's training. So I'm hoping that we actually see something more there, and I think we'll deal a lot more with the Force and maybe the history of the Jedi Order, what happened, Luke finds out, kind of stuff like that. So I'm excited to see that happen, that unfold.
Well, I mean, I wrote an article about why the Jedi must end, and we put it in, it's in our archives now on KesselRunWeekly.com. But, I mean, I think they're going to go gray, but that's a totally different, we've already done that show, I think.
I think we kind of halfway do that show like every single episode. There's like a tidbit of it somewhere, everywhere. It's a common thread, guys.
It is.
So yeah, and also, so speaking of Ach-To, you recently wrote something kind of cool for the inhabitants of Ach-To. You want to tell them about that?
Okay, so. Evil Porg is in my sketchbook. And no, I am not an artist. But what I am is a story creator. And Evil Porg is evil. He's not angry. Well, he is, because fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. And hate leads to suffering.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, no, I wrote an article about Evil Porg and why I feel the way about porgs that I feel. Yes,
and you get a little bit of that in our this last episode that we released with the Point Rain clones. Michael and Heather kind of had a porg discussion that was pretty hilarious. So you definitely don't want to miss that if you haven't listened to that yet.
Porg Posse.
Porg Posse. Hashtag.
Porg Posse assemble.
There you go. So cool. I think
for you. Call me Snips.
Yes. So yeah, guys. So this is the first of many videos that we'll be doing for our YouTube. Because as you know by now, we will be moving to one episode a week, one main episode. So that way you guys can get as much content from us as possible, because we love spending time with you and talking Star Wars with you. And so we'll actually be growing our YouTube channel up quite a bit. So we'll have little bitty snippets like this throughout the week, talking about theories, Rebels, anything really Star Wars. Anything that comes up.
I wanted to talk to you about theories.
Okay.
If you have theories, send them to me, because I like to make fanfics out of them.
That's true.
You can check out our website, A Tale of Two Nemesis, and that's where I began.
Oh yes. So it's really cool because, like, I mean, and it's not something I've ever seen anywhere, because we have our theories, but now we get to flesh them out.
Yes.
Yes. So how we think, our headcanon, I guess, is what it's called. I've heard it called.
Headcanon is what it's called.
So our headcanon of what we think might have happened, whether it be hilarious, serious, I don't know. It might be moving. You never know. We might pull at your heartstrings.
Me?
Yeah. Never. So cool, guys. So thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure, if you're not already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on social media right above at Kessel Run Weekly on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and visit our website, KesselRunWeekly.com. We've got a lot of cool stuff on there. If you've missed it, hey, it's okay. It's there for you. And so you can always go back and listen to our previous episodes and see any of our future episodes, current episodes, just all of it.
All the episodes!
Yes, all of the things. So definitely come hang out with us. And you can join our Kessel Run Weekly Smugglers group on Facebook. We definitely want to see you there, because that way you can talk Star Wars to us all the time. We're always on it. We're always there available. So if you have a really cool theory, a crazy theory, a silly theory, it doesn't matter what kind of theory it is, or anything you want to talk about Star Wars, put it in the group and we'll be happy to talk with you. Alright guys, and so until next time, my name is Danny.
I'm Heather, and may the Force be with you.
Yes.